Kenny, you have 4 minutes.
Thank you, Cahirlook. Recently, we had the RT drama series Charlie, which, amongst other things, highlighted the links between Fianna Fáil and the builders, such as the Gallagher Group, during the CJ High period. Watching the drama, and I must confess I watched all of the series, it made me recall that when I purchased my Gallagher-built home in Raheny in 1969, I received a letter from the then Minister of CJ High shortly after I moved in, welcoming me into his constituency and assuring me that if I needed his assistance, I should contact him. As I was not even on the electoral register at the time, CJ could only have obtained my name from the builder. There was no Data Protection Act in those days. The Flood and Mahon Tribunal highlighted the rezoning scandals in North Dublin in the 1990s. It now appears that many of those found by the tribunal to have acted corruptly may actually go scot-free, and some of them may even have their legal costs paid for by the taxpayer. I welcome the statement by Mahon reported in today's Irish Times that some of the tribunal's corruption findings will not be erased. As a Dublin councillor for over 30 years, I witnessed many of the events that were revealed in the tribunals. The planning light touch era presided over by Fianna Fáil led to Priory Hall and to the Pyrite. It has been all too obvious that the construction sector and the housing market were heavily affected by the economic downturn and the bursting of the property bubble. It has been all too obvious that a poorly regulated banking sector with lax lending standards combined with inappropriate fiscal policies adopted by the then government led to a property bubble, and the consequences of which are still evident throughout the country. This government recognises the importance of ensuring a strong but sustainable construction sector and housing market that meets the needs of the economy and of society. The government's Construction 2020 strategy for a renewed construction sector is focused on addressing constraints that are inhibiting new housing supply, such as planning, mortgage and development finance, infrastructure, public investment, regulation. The publication of the Social Housing Strategy 2020 in November 2014, which builds on the provisions contained in the Budget 2015, sets out clear, measurable actions and targets to increase the supply of social housing, to reform delivery arrangements and to meet the needs of all the households on the housing lists. The Housing 2020 Social Housing Strategy will provide 35,000 new social housing units over a 6-year period to meet the additional social housing supply requirement as determined by the Housing Agency. It will support up to 75,000 households through an enhanced private rental sector. It will reform social housing supports to create a more flexible and more responsive system. I support the approach taken by this government and very strongly would like to commend Minister Alan Kelly for his work on this as Minister for the Environment. It is infinitely better than what the opposition could arrive at, especially given their record. After 14 disastrous years, I think it's time for a change. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.